So today is about relationships, right? And it's great to be in a room full of relational activists, I think. You know, the energy here today is, I think, something indescribable.
We don't often talk about how much lived experience is helping and choosing the right person that helps.
If we want to have more of these models, we've got to be willing to do more of what we're doing here today, actually, to mingle, to get to meet each other as equals and as humans.
If you want to be represented differently on the agenda, if you want to participate differently, if you want to pipe up and try and take something in a different direction, then try. That's really part of the thing.
Shared lives just sounds like real and fantastic and the good life and the things we believe in, but how do we really challenge that system as activists?
When we become carers, which is a movement of carers, we become activists. You become an activist and you start to challenge what you're talking about. And then when you start to care for people, they become activists and they can challenge and ask for more and say they want something different. People
say the political is the personal is the political, and people are really living that. And that does tend, I think, by expanding those models, that creates, as Victoria says, a group of people who are just doing things differently, and that has ripple effects.
It's so easy when you're in it to slip back into the old kind of ways of bureaucracy and power. And every day, I think we need to question that in everything that we do. We need to question, where's the power?
Charlie Chaplin said, you need power only when you want to do something harmful. Love is enough to get everything done.
Leland Rufus and Juana Edowita, both social workers who were working in the community, not in government, and they came with a completely fresh perspective on how this should be done, how it could be done. And they set out going out to community, talking to families, talking to children, talking to Māori social workers about the ways that they were practicing and working sort of under the radar and around the organisation to connect with families, having to break quite a few rules to get the work done in a culturally appropriate way.
It's that degree of being human and being lateral. It's the relationship that counts, and the relationship involves actually at the right times breaking the rules and doing something a little bit weird.
I would class myself as an activist, a social activist, but I'm not the type to go stand outside court with banners shouting about what's gone wrong in my life and what should have been right and stuff. But actually I use creative methods.
We often come together at times of crisis, at times of difficulty, and we have to acknowledge that in any relationship, whether it's with your partner at home or whether it's with a child or a parent, it's always characterised by the difficult moments, isn't it? It's about how we are thoughtful in those moments and still treat people with respect and compassion, I suppose.
I speak to people on the street, on the bus stop, in the toilet, I don't care. And I'm looked at as if I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I like to talk. So, having sometimes by someone telling you everything about them, it's not because they're crazy or there's something wrong with them. Sometimes they just don't have anyone to talk to. Actually, love and compassion is quite radical. If we as helpers or servers, whatever you want to call yourself, do it with love and compassion, you don't have to get it right. You don't have to have an answer. But love and compassion will connect you and it will help that person begin to trust you. That's what has changed this earth. Love and compassion, To love is to act, truly.
I love this. To love is to act. Activism has animated my life. We have a lot more agency than we think in changing things that feel like they've been around forever. Slowly, things like today, will help people come together to realise they're not alone, that there's lots of other people like them, and you become a movement, essentially. And that movement starts to build a new system.
Leadership is very important in these organisations. Not that leaders are important, there's a distinction in that, but leadership in the organisation is very important. You have to share that power, you have to acknowledge the skills and insights of people. You have to, when you try and create change, accept that people on the front line know better than me, and sit down with them and say, let's design this together.
and we say we want this to be a better borough, place where everyone has the chance to succeed and nobody is left behind and everybody has a voice. You can't say that and then say, oh, except where we're doing the difficult things, and being ready to hear the things that you don't want to hear, and respecting the people who are willing to speak truth to power, as Clarissa has this afternoon and has with us.
My support network is predominantly social workers, which is shocking considering that a few years ago, you know, I would not have walked foot in here and felt comfortable. I would not have walked in here and felt like I could sit in front of all you people and look you dead in the eye and tell you what happened. Do you know what I mean? But actually, I've come such a long way, and my kids are still not home, and I've still managed to come that way, and that's somebody that I stood in court and was told that I cannot parent adequately, yeah? But now I'm supporting care leavers, and now I'm working in care homes, and now I'm supporting parents to go through child protection. So actually, was it that I couldn't parent adequately, or was it that I just needed a little bit of time?